The low equity of learning opportunities. Equity is accompanied by the large number of students who drop out of school, as well as the number of graduates who do not continue to higher education. This is identical to the characteristics of poverty. Low academic quality, especially mastery of natural sciences, mathematics, and language, especially English. Even though mastery of the material is the key to mastering and developing science and technology. Low internal efficiency because the length of the study period exceeds the predetermined standard time. Low efficiency of the education system, which is called the relevance of education, which causes educated unemployed workers who tend to continue to increase. Empirically, the trend of rising educated unemployed workers is caused by the development of the business world, which is still dominated by large entrepreneurs who are limited in number and highly prioritize efficiency, capital-intensive and technology-intensive. Thus, the increase in the need for labor is far less than the increase in the number of graduates of educational institutions. There is a tendency to decrease morals which cause fading of social responsibility and solidarity, such as the occurrence of student brawls and juvenile delinquency. In this case, religious education becomes very important. To be a moral foundation and noble character needs to be given to students from an early age. Thus, it will be a strong foundation for moral and ethical robustness after plunging into society. The above problems are closely related to constraints such as geographical, demographic, and socioeconomic conditions. The large number of people scattered throughout the geographical area of Indonesia is quite extensive. Poverty is also one of the obstacles that has a close relationship with education problems. The low quality of the education system's performance is not only due to the weakness of micro-level education management of educational institutions, but also because of education management at the macro level, such as low efficiency and effectiveness of the education system. The system and system of community life are not conducive, which also determines the low quality of the education system in schools, which in turn causes low quality of students and graduates. The policies and programs aimed at overcoming the various problems above must be formulated specifically because the phenomena and causes of problems also vary throughout the territory of Indonesia. The education system is an integral part of social and cultural life as a supersystem. The Pembangunan education system does not mean anything if it is not synchronized with national development. The close link between the education sector as a system and the socio-cultural system is the suprasystem, where the education system is part of it, creates conditions in such a way that the internal problems of the education system become very complex. This means that an internal problem in the education system always has to do with problems outside the education system itself. For example, the quality problem of learning outcomes of a school cannot be separated from the socio-cultural and economic conditions of the surrounding community, from where the school students come from, and there are many other factors outside the school system that are related to the quality of the learning outcomes. Based on these facts, overcoming the problem of education is also very complex, involving many components and involving many parties. Basically, there are two main problems faced by the world of education in our homeland today, namely, how can all citizens enjoy educational opportunities? How education can equip students with solid work skills to be able to plunge into the arena of community life. The first is on the issue of equity, and the second is the problem of quality, relevance, and also the efficiency of education. 3. Quality problems. The quality of education is problematic if the results of education have not reached the level as expected. Determination of the quality of the results of the first education is carried out by the producing institution as the producer of the prospective candidates, with a certification system. Furthermore, If the output is plunged into the field of work, the assessment is carried out by the user institution as a consumer of power with a performance test system. Normally, training and apprenticeship are still carried out for candidates to adjust to the demands of work conditions in the field, and educational efficiency problems. In essence, the problem of efficiency is the problem of managing education, especially in the use of funds and human resources. Efficiency means that by using the smallest energy and costs, the maximum results can be obtained. So, an efficient education system is with limited energy and funds that can produce a large number of high-quality graduates. Therefore, the integration of education management must be seen among all elements and units, both between public and private schools, school and outside school education, between institutions and units within the Education and Cultural Department. Experts say that the education system is still inefficient. This can be seen from the large number of dropout children. Many children who have not received educational services, many children who live in class, and lack of proper services for weak and extraordinarily intelligent children and geniuses. Some important educational efficiency issues are: A. How do education staff function? B. How are education infrastructure and facilities used? C. How education is held? D. Problems of efficiency in the functioning of power. This problem includes the appointment, placement, and development of educational staff. The issue of appointment lies in the sensitivity between the available stock of labor and the limited ration. In the last 5 years, the annual ration for appointments is only around 20% of the field's labor needs, while the supply of energy ready to lift is more bearable than the need in the field. Thus, it means that more than 80% of available energy is not immediately used. This happened under covert controversy, because the investment costs of procuring power did not immediately pay back through service. And education staff, especially teachers, are not prepared for entrepreneurship. Educational relevance problems. Problem releasing is a problem that arises because of the incompatibility of the education system with national development equal to the needs of individuals, families, and communities, both in the short term and in the long term. Education is a supporting factor for the development of national resilience. Therefore, it is necessary to integrate the planning and implementation of education with the national development. For example, education in schools must be planned based on real needs in the movement of national development, and pay attention to the characteristics of the workforce needed in accordance with environmental conditions in certain environmental areas.